Well, good morning, folks. It's about 7:45 a.m. Just got done with morning errands, Here we are, preliminary trial day. Now, you'll see what I'm wearing. Basically, as I believe the legal justice system around here, starting with Marysville PD, to be a joke. The last few times, especially after I found out my alleged victim went out and committed 12 more assault felonies after I hurt him real bad, right? Bad enough for it to be assault with a deadly weapon with GB until the DA wanted to pull some political bullshit, in my opinion, when they don't even have enough evidence to try me for that and succeed with jury box, raise it to attempted murder. Now, they're bringing up their star witness in shackles from the jail, and I'm pretty sure at this point, since he never went after me financially, now this was my opinion until I talked to somebody else, a recovered heroin addict. Now, in my opinion, the gentleman knew that he was going to have a strike since he was already out on OR with a warrant for his arrest for not turning himself in on a 3-year prison sentence for attacking a woman, his ex-love interest. Now, he had 4 assault felony cases before that, right? But my friend was telling me, well, maybe he thought he could just get lightly tapped and go to the hospital and basically get a fucking opioid fucking shot or something. Maybe it was to get high, and he judged the angles wrong when he ran into my car. Now, this isn't even a self-defense case, according to the way this criminal justice system works, right? Not even a fucking self-defense case. So I've done everything to prove my innocence with what happened that day, and I've got a pretty sound stack of evidence. Now, I guess we're not even going to present that today. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to let them show their cards. Isn't this interesting? Probably going to show them how weak their case is based on, some stuff that the DA is just going off of Marysville PD report. Now, my question is why don't they bring Chief Saxon? He was there overseeing the entire thing, right? Overseeing the entire thing. I'd like to see his lying piece of shit ass get before one of these judges who's a good judge of character. Probably a reason why he doesn't. But, anyway. Wish me luck. Hopefully this appeases the court. I have been, since finding out my alleged victim went out and committed more crimes, wearing Trump shirts. I guess they had issues with the iconic picture of him standing in front of an American flag with his fist up after being shot. It says fight underneath. And I got one black one with a silhouette I wore, and I have PTSD t-shirt in there once. Pretty tired of stupid Democrats with Trump under it. Others who have been in there believe lawfare is being used against me. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I wouldn't put it past them. You should ask Honorable Jesse Santana across the river about the lawfare in this area and how that works, as he was representing a piece of shit. I can't remember if he was representing the other lawyers that was representing a piece of shit. But anyway, they offered the victim a settlement, and they tried to call it a bribe. Now, how come it wasn't considered a bribe when a now Sutter County supervisor of Sutter, California area bribed an underage babysitter with either a Camaro or a Mustang? I can't remember, but it was in the newspaper years ago, back when the Appeal Democrat still reported, on government corruption instead of encouraging it. So, I'd like to see one of those lawyers become our next DA. I know Roberto Marquez isn't going to do it. He's making too much money, but maybe we can get Arturo to do it, or somebody else. I believe that those individuals, being that they had lawfare committed against them, and know just how dirty this system can be and how wasteful of money to make an example just because the person isn't liked or their actions aren't liked. I think they would make excellent people to be practicing law at a larger government leadership role. All I can tell you is I don't know that this was an attempt to get me to shut up about Sarah Easton. I don't know if it was an attempt to get me to shut up about dissolving Marysville PD. I don't know if it was an attempt to shut me up by Chief Ballsack. His head looks like a nasty, lumpy ballsack if you've ever seen it. It's a good nickname for him. Maybe it's his white-collar crimes of title jumping, or, basically screwing over old people on his estate sale business. I don't know. Probably he's got more going on than that. I mean, there's got to be a reason before his boss got basically axed out of the department for raping people, under the Me Too stuff, and basically probably murdered his wife, that he was even looked at as leadership. Sutter County Sheriff's Department passed him up years ago. Like many of the officers gone, most law enforcement places wouldn't take him, but here in Marysville, if you're the goddamn bottom of the barrel, they want you. Now, hopefully that's changing now with these young officers. I know a lot of you are much happier, at least the way the young officers treat you. Probably because they're not busy trying to get back and play grab ass and fuck around and time embezzlement. I mean, let's just look at this. We had four officers, and 3 staff, including the clerk, forced to resign for sexual misconduct is one of the things that we're pretty sure about, and other misconduct. How many crimes were committed and could have been stopped while they were busy pulling their pants and skirts up, or nylons, whatever the fuck, they're all wearing pants, whatever. How much negligence took place there? How much money did they embezzle on time? If they were anywhere but Marysville, would they be sitting in a jail cell right now? Probably. But here the cops in Marysville have been dirty so long, what they do is they get dirt on people. And this is why our delinquent council, including the bad orange man who on Martin Luther King Jr. weekend accused me of wanting to murder these vagrant street criminals that threw themselves into my car and was attacking my home. Now, you can't be surprised. It's my understanding he moved a member of the homeless community of some man into his apartment to basically fuck him because he's such a fucking nut job, who was only contributed some design work as his time on the council. I'm sorry. As long as we have art students out there, give them a $500 scholarship for college on the one who best wins the design thing. If we're only worried about saving money on design, let's do something good with it. But this guy, his claim to fame is having a daddy who basically, ran Notre Dame school at a time when a bishop was molesting a bunch of children. I guess he doesn't always take his medication, as what some of his supporters said, but look at the people who support him. Most of them also have a Yes on G sign in their yard. And with the Marysville Hotel debacle, where the police weren't rousting them out, people getting their cars stolen and the police threatening them if they called the cops one more time to that, all this stuff has happened under him. And if you want to know the truth, it's my understanding that when somebody comments about him negatively online, not only attack them like he has me for being, a person who got him elected and basically was trying to get him to do a good job for all of us at different times with private criticisms. I hear he'll go to your boss. I've heard from some of his neighbors that he'll weaponize both the police and the code enforcement department. Orange man of Marysville, bad. And let's not all forget, he wanted a vax card and mask mandated in the Arts Center, along with some other lefty extremists, during the pandemic, while that place is ran on public funds. I'm sorry, I don't care if you're NPR, PBS, the local art community. If you cannot get this supported by private funds, and you want to fucking basically mandate insane shit and policies, let's not forget Marysville PD and fucking pursued COVID crimes because Randy Mitchell knew his workers from a life of crime and drugs, if not able to make money since they weren't eligible for, as a barber shop or a hairdressing place. They weren't eligible for a lot of those business benefits. Newsom was running a riot on them. I guess Governor Hairgel wanted the best. But let's not forget, Marysville PD and Marysville were one of the only places that's supposed to be, purple and a little bit more sane, going against people for COVID crimes. This asshole needs to go, and we need a new district attorney. I don't give a shit if we've got a one-term the district attorney like we have the supervisor of Marysville and other positions like with Doug Lofton and a couple of other things. We need to take this society back. This district attorney race is very important because I cannot even tell you the insanity and the money I've seen wasted. They let a guy right when I first started this case go. He's 65 years old and he repeatedly raped a 5-year-old with full penetration. And he got probation for 2 fucking years, folks. Meanwhile, they're gonna go against a probation officer when they've got 3 fucking crazy, vagrant, street criminal drug addicts coming over the fence and they fire off a warning shot in the air. Should have been in the ground, They weren't conservative, they were a lefty, so, it's not like they're understanding what to do like a conservative would, being our gun or Second Amendment rights are always under attack, and we understand as things go more insane, we may need to exercise our right to remove the government that's no longer working. Which we saw exemplified during the pandemic for some of us. So anyway, should be a pretty good shit show. Maintaining composure today and not smiling, basically when I watch the DA's case falling apart. It's going to be the hardest part, besides watching somebody who doesn't deserve any of this basically get destroyed mentally by it as one of their other star witnesses. And boy oh boy, if there was any justice in this system, they'd go, oh, Mr. Cross, other than some speeding tickets, which shows maybe he drives like a maniac all the time, which Bethany, whatever her name of the old Brownsville page nobody goes to anymore, would testify as basically he's committed no fucking new crimes since he's one of the first to graduate Prop 36 drug diversion court in nearly 20 years. And yet we have this gentleman who has committed all sorts of crime, revolving door clients of many violent crimes the DA failed to keep behind bars, just like Mortar Hippie John. Maybe Mr. Cross is telling the truth here. Mr. Cross is telling the truth because Mr. Cross, in every fucking case, whether he was higher as a kite or semi-sober at the time, probably with drugs floating in his system before he found recovery, has always told the fucking truth in court. And if he ever committed a crime, he said, okay, I did it. What kind of deal am I gonna get? I fucked up. But right now, I'm an innocent man of the crimes that they have accused me of. I'm a political prisoner, and I have got to tell you, God definitely had a better plan, because without this fucking shit show attack on me by Marysville PD, which cost the taxpayers, I don't even know how much money in court at this point in time, but way more than what they'll be able to get out of me legally, fucking through different fees and penalties and fines and whatever. This is where I needed to be to see what a fucking joke the justice system has become in California. And you know what I think it boils down to with the ex-probation officer, myself, and other people trying to stop their car getting stolen and, basically threatened by the old police? I think it has to do with the fact that they have fucking manufactured a problem to get more funding. Keep in mind, they don't even know where all the money went for the homeless issue, right? And fucking, from what I'm told here in this county, for every $6 spent, $1 actually goes to housing people or helping people stay housed who are struggling. I reckon for every $6 spent, $1 actually goes to them. The rest of it go to fucking funds and, basically payroll and shit for government bureaucrats and nonprofits. But I think that basically they're afraid, with the lawlessness created here in California by an insane fucking governor and legislator, that we're all going to get together as an angry fucking mob and commit vigilantism. Well, I can tell you, I was relying on one person to call the cops, as I told him that day, because I had called the cops myself numerous times when these violent offenders, people who wanted trouble, people who wouldn't just be asked politely to leave, and they would, or asked politely not to take a shit in my flower bed and leave politely. These people wanted to fight. These people are repeat offenders that belong behind bars where they have such a long fucking record. They either need forced into treatment or put behind bars. And, I believe that we have the system we have before us and it should be used to the full benefit. I'm not about anarchy. You know, I believe if there's a whole group of people ready for revolution because the shit's gotten so crazy, I'd probably join up. But I'm not going to go out there and be starting the fucking revolution because we can't even get most people to fucking get the fuck off their ass and vote. You know? I mean, if just the people who got off their ass and voted want a revolution, that's 10 times more than you need. You only need 3% of the population to mount a successful revolution since the invention of the gun. Anyway, wish me luck. Pray for me. Have a good day.